Yeah, I mean, look at the 4 surfers in the lineup right now. This is definitely party time at Margaret River, and Ethan waited 20 minutes to get his second ride. We'll see how that one pans out. As you said, we only saw the trailing last bit.
Oh, it's going to be John Florence. He's made a habit of collecting excellent heat scores when he's here at Main Break Margaret River. He throws everything into that first section, knowing he's on a smaller ride, knowing he's got to push hard if he wants to turn in a decent score here. Had a busy start to this heat. That'll be his best ride yet. He had a 3.5, also just a throwaway number, and wants to stay busy in the opening stages of this heat. The people weren't overcoming them, but Ethan Ewing and John Florence, I think the strength of their rail work can overcome some of those progressive, innovative turns, and we've seen a bit of a trend back towards those more traditional lines in the last sort of 6 months.
So, I mean, nothing's changed. The criteria is still the same. Everything's the same, but it's the athletes themselves. As this wave here, it's a 4.83 for John. He, you know, a bit innovative there, but starts out getting the board well at the back of the wave. His front foot comes off. Both feet come off. So an innovative there, Flick. An innovative move there, Flick.
Yeah, I mean, at 4.83, I mean, it was a pretty amazing first turn. But then I guess it was a bit of a smaller wave and straight into a cutty here. He does get a little bit of a finish through to the inside and just kind of milks it for all it's worth. But, I mean, that was 4.83. I mean, I'd be pretty impressed with myself if I did that for my first turn.
Oh, yeah. But here we go, Matthew McGillivray. He's going to have his hands full, but, you know, Matty McGillivray at this location, he's right up there as far as the, you know, when you're considering contenders. He's made the semi-finals 2 years in a row. Oh,
this has been a very happy hunting ground for Matthew McGillivray. You know, it suits his power, and that wave there, kind of a smaller wave, but, you know, he's had a really slow start to this heat. Still very early days, you know, a lot of time on the clock. Straight onto the inside edge, and here's John. Oh, one big move. The patented John layback slam.
Such a good version of that trademark hack too. That is unbelievable. You know, to me, that turn, it has as much risk, and it was on the more heavy right-hand section of Main Break. I wouldn't be surprised if he turns in a better score than what we saw for Italo with the 6.77. But Bugs, Ethan Ewing's going to drop an excellent score. I mean, we said those 7s kind of came a little early. That meant there was, you know, only one way to go in the scale. And he's going to go further out in front as we see John up again.
Yeah, well, this is a classic. An 8.07 for Ethan. There's John still waiting, I think, for 2 scores to come in for John.
Just razor sharp rail work, and he does push it to the point of busting those fins free as we get another look at John's last ride.
Yeah, that was my favourite layback actually of this heat. That first turn, the amount of water displaced here, I mean, we're getting another look at it, just comes into it with so much speed and both arms back and continues that speed throughout the whole way of the turn. You'll watch both arms come back here, and he just absolutely lays into this section. He can tell that there's not much ahead coming, so he can really wrench it around, and just so powerful.
Yeah, John could have a children's book, 32 versions of the same manoeuvre.
You know, he does mix it up beautifully. He's got so many options on the front side, as we see Matty McGillivray just throwing everything at it. It looks like Matty McGillivray might be trying to get himself in a position for this one. At this stage, Matty just wants to land a blow. He wants to get a good score on the board. Drives up into the first section. Kicks on that tail. You can tell he's pushing hard. He's well aware that if he's going to overcome John, he's going to have to really put it on edge and risk some tricky sections. That's what John Florence has been doing during the break. He had this one. And what do you reckon? Do you reckon he's going to get into the excellent range at some point here, Felicity?
Yeah, it's inevitable. I mean, far out. I mean, look at this turn. Look at the power and the style. Just the way he brings it back around, and he turns on, really pivots on that back arm. And here you go. We get to see another variation of that layback hack.
Man, he went into that turn in first class. He was just completely flat, inverted. And here we go. The Dolphins getting in on the show. And let's see if they join Matty McGillivray on this ride. He's going to rip into this first section. Nice big swoop. Has a lot of ground to make up here. John Florence on fire. A 9.43 on John's last ride. And have a look at this, Bugs. Talk us through the replay.
Oh, well, it's man on man. It's dolphin on dolphin. Who's got priority? But that is a sight to behold. We just love it when the Dolphins come by to say hello. And Matty, that's always a blessed wave.
Yeah, incredible. We had that great moment earlier in the event where Michael Rodriguez shared a ride with a dolphin jumping out of the back. And in the past, we've seen Connor Coffin getting barreled at the box.
A completely different style of surfing, how he approaches heats, everything. Does that make things clearer for you?
Yeah, I think so. I always kind of stick to my strengths, but you kind of can't really focus on what he's going to do. He's a weapon, and he went left and did a huge air apparently. So yeah, I can't control what he does, but I was just trying to focus on getting a good waves and try and get a good rhythm going.
You know, when Ethan won bells, I mean, Queensland went absolutely nuts. It was
Public holiday, Bugs?
Yeah, big time. I mean, well, the ferries got shut down at Stradbroke.
It's a public holiday every day up there.
Oh.
Here we go. Matty McGillivray just fighting so hard just to find some space. Got to be a little frustrated at the moment. He's been super busy in this lineup. That's his 10th ride, and the best he's been able to manage is a 5.77. And drives up into the first section. Nice layback hit, but he needs this thing to ramp up, and he's going to attempt to attack it, but this is again not going to help him break combination. But let's check in with a former winner at the CT event over there at Trestles, Richie Lovett. He's got John's backup board.
You know, these are the Ferraris, the Formula One, equipment that they need to be able to perform, and they need that marriage. It just has to be there, otherwise the confidence is out the door before you even paddle out.
And John Florence has been riding John Peisel's board since he was single figures, so obviously they've done a lot of work in refining those boards, whereas Matty McGillivray's kind of numbers jump all over the place and just sort of suggest that, you know, not giving himself better chances with priority have hurt his opportunity of progressing into the quarterfinals again here. Losing out to Ethan down at Bells Beach, so Matty McGillivray's coming on.
Yeah, and he said in an early interview, I mean, this wave here is, it's his best ride. He said in an interview.
And John Florence has just earned his place in the quarterfinals, where he will go up against Ethan Ewing.
Uh-oh, that's incredible. Well, we just saw, a nice bit of sportsmanship there, acknowledgement from John to Matthew.
Yeah, 18 excellent heats now for John Florence at this venue.